Hey, Natsu here. Today I'm going to do part 15 of What If Deku had a leveling system. I don't remember if said the name of the next kingdom, but I've decided to switch around a small thing. Well, mostly um, multiple kingdoms, but the only reason I decided to do that is because the way I decided to explain them, well, the way they are placed would actually make more sense like this. So the kingdom where Deku went right now is actually closer to the sea, since basically if he goes to any of the other kingdom, basically going towards where I was supposed to send him right now, well, that I wanted to send him, if he goes there, he basically gets further from that one, and that basically just makes a detour afterward to go back there. So I'm sending him there right now. This kingdom is actually called the Low-Key Kingdom. Yeah, no joking. But yeah, it's basically called the Cave Kingdom because basically there's a well, a small amount of dirt with multiple entries, and you basically are able to go in the caves for a while, and you can go down for a while, then you get to the kingdom, then you can go down even further, and it's basically a mine and multiple labyrinths, and on the complete bottom, there is a temple. This temple is different from the others. When you enter, you directly get to the boss room, simply because of the way that the labyrinth is made. This one does not have books, treasures, and stuff like that inside of it that you can just look for. You find them once you kill the boss. There's doors that opens, pointing to each chest, and then you can go to the god if you want to. So this is where Deku gets sent, because it's literally the only way for him to actually get and go there without having him to do a detour by passing to anywhere else. So Deku basically arrives directly in the kingdom on a special pad that's basically where people arrives when they teleport and stuff like that, using stones, basically just outside of it. So he gets in and goes firstly for the book that he's looking for, which I think is the no, wait, which one was it? Be right back, I'm just going to read for a while. Sorry for the pause, I had four things to look over. Firstly, he just got his 11th book out of the 28th, or was it 21? 23? Or whatever, I'm going to check it anyway later. He has 11 out of them. That's basically easily said. Um, Basically, the only other things he know that he needs to do here is actually get down to the temple, and after that go to the next kingdom. Which next kingdom after this one is actually a kingdom in the middle of a forest, but it's not called the Forest Kingdom. The forest actually grew over time around it, and they just kept the previous name. So now he's going for the temple. While he's looking for how to start going there, Deku actually starts to feel something. Sorry. It's type of energy that he did feel before, but he doesn't know where he felt it. What he's feeling is actually um, a specific type of life energy, which is sensed the same way that an aura is felt. But the reason he is able to remember, the reason he knows how it feels but he doesn't remember where, is because it's the same energy that was liberated from the thing that basically asked him what he wanted to reincarnate as from the first episode. Basically, another resurrection is happening, and basically, that person is being resurrected into another baby. This is not someone else from My Hero Academia, it's someone else in this world. Basically, it is happening sometime. Basically, a hero is made. Normally, they don't regain their memory. All they know is that, okay, I remember how I died. Now I get a mission, and now I have to complete that. Normally, that's how it happens. Deku didn't have that, he just basically got the start of an RPG. So, yeah. After a while of walking, be right back. Okay, sorry. Um, Deku basically finds where they can actually start going towards the labyrinth that brings you to the dungeon, well, to the temple, and basically goes to enter, and someone basically blocks his way, saying that kids are not allowed inside of this. Which Deku asks how he could enter then, which the person in front basically tell him, once you're an adult, you'll be able to go in. Which Deku asks, okay, if I'm old enough, what would you say? Which the guy just says, if you would be old enough, I would ask you if you want a revival talisman before going in. Which he basically asks, revival talismans. Which the man explained that for this temple precisely, there is a talisman. Well, for this place precisely, they've created a talisman that as long as you're in around 2.4 kilometer around a specific place, you're going to basically, well, 2.4 kilometer from that door, you basically respawn there with everything you had. But if you're further than that, if you die, you die. Which Deku asks how to create those, which the man says, oh, you can't really create them. We found a way to make them, but it's more because we actually found a monster that basically spawned them down in the labyrinth. You can get them by slaying them, which is hard to do anyway, and they only drop 1 in every 5 monster. But then Deku asks, okay, so can I enter? Which the man responds, no, like I said, kids are not allowed inside. Which Deku said, okay, but would being a king actually allow me to go in? Which she said, haha, very funny. You, you're very young. You would only be a prince if you're really royalty. With Deku saying, "My name is Izuku Midoriya, from the weakest continent," which the name basically gets the ears of the man, and he just reacts in a way that's, "Are you serious? I don't think you are. Show me a proof." Okay, sorry. So Deku basically shows him his passport, and the man basically starts saying sorry, sorry, and then asks Deku if he wants a talisman before going in, which Deku basically looks at him and says, "I don't think I will need one." Which he says, I would still prefer you buy one. They're only about 1 silver, which is pretty high still for this continent. He's less of a stealer than almost every other merchant that they could pass next to. Mostly because most of them are actually trying to steal money from people. Deku doesn't really care anyway, he has enough. And just says fine and pays for it. He keeps it anyway and goes down. So, the way it happens is that Deku basically arrives in front of the labyrinth um, and basically starts going in. First thing he remarked about the labyrinth is that he feels as if there was a lot of people in it, but almost no monsters. But the way it is, there's too much people. So he doesn't know how to believe it. Mostly because almost 3/4 of them basically feels almost the same. They do have human shape, and that's what annoys him. So he basically just kind of feels like that and simply continues going. Um, After a small amount of time, he gets to his first, well, converting path, which basically it goes from being a single straight line or, well, single path to being three different ones, which Deku has to choose which one he goes in. Then Deku uses his light ball, which is three spell combined into one that allows him to send balls of light around him to see how it is, and basically sends it through every path, and decides to just wait there until he finds the exact way. And basically he sees four different monsters, multiple amounts of them, but precisely four different types of them. But all of them do look kind of human, well, humanoid, but he knows they're not humans or humanoids, like I just said. One that basically looks like a ghost, passed through walls, um, and stuff like that. Another one is actually something that has 6 limbs, but basically 2 of his limbs he basically stick closed, basically making them look like he only has 2 arms instead of 4. And instead of going on um, 4 legs, how his body seemed to say that he should walk, he's basically on 2 legs, which Deku doesn't get why it's doing that, because there is a lot of light for him thanks to his light balls, but normally there's not a lot of light in there. There's enough to see. But someone that's basically like 40 meter from you, you're going to only see like a shadow and some stuff like that. So the reason they all look, well, human shaped is actually for that. They are hunting people that enters. So if someone sees someone that's basically just walking slow, they're going to think they're sick or that there's a problem and go try to see if they can help, which makes the monster able to just eat you. The two other species are actually not monsters that were human shaped. They're actually monsters that, well, they're actually the monsters that he felt normally, which one of them is actually the monster that he heard the talisman come from, which is a bad type monster that basically is about um, almost a well, almost 2.5 feet long, which is humongous, and it basically just kind of flies around. The other one is actually just a slime monster, so no real big problem. So Deku basically decided that he was going to kill at least one of each before going. He still made his light balls go to try and find the temple. Um, so first monsters he goes to kill is actually the ghost-looking thing, which he has a bit of trouble with at first, but the ghost isn't even able to harm Deku, which Deku doesn't get why it doesn't do any damage. Which in reality it's because these ghost monsters, have a huge amount of defense, but literally zero offense. Actually, this monster is a monster that basically normally hunts in groups with other monsters, so they take the hits while other monsters attack, and that's how they do it. After a while, he's able to kill it, then he continues to walk and finds the second type of monsters, the one with 6 limbs instead of only 4. He doesn't take a chance and attack with fire. The monster basically dodges and starts running towards Deku, going on all 6 limbs and going fast. Deku basically gets ready to tank the hit, tanks it, and sees that, oh damn, those ones are a lot more powerful. They actually do a good amount of damage. Not that big anyway for his life points, but still does a lot of damage. He kills it and basically gets that, okay, first one, everything in defense, this one, offense, speed and attack. Now he's going for the slimes and the giant bat. Um, the bat was easy to find, the slime as well, but those are less, well, noteworthy. It's basically just a bat with that's bigger, and the slime is just a green slime that dissolves clothes and stuff like that. Um, he did get a second talisman from that, but he doesn't really care. Oh yeah, also, this one will probably only be around 40 minutes long, because it's actually going to be the first god that he's truly fighting, as well as the monster that he's going to fight, but yeah. So, after about 40 minutes or something like that, and one of his light balls actually finds the way to the exit. Deku basically shots every other off and basically just follow the trail, gets to it, and starts to enter. Before entering, he actually sees that around the entire, well, on the entire walls of the inside, there are only drawings about three different creatures. Well, there are drawings about three different creatures: a giant spider looking one, a giant bird looking one, and the last one was a snake looking one. He thought it was weird. Normally, there's only one monster in each. Is it something different? Sorry about that. Then he goes inside to see what would happen, and actually, all three drawings actually start moving, come to life, and he sees that the bird one is actually a looking phoenix thing, but instead of fire, it's more like ice. The giant spider is a type of spider that he saw in a book. This spider is actually almost inoffensive against human, simply because um, the size it normally has is about the size of your small, well, your pinky's nail is basically the size of the spider normally. Right now, it's about um, it has a diameter of around 20 meters, which is humongous for a spider. Ugh. A spider that's like mm, mm, um 1 inch 1 inch long would be way freaking scary to anything, and that thing is 20-meter in diameter. Deku doesn't have a phobia of spider, and it's good for him because he would have shed his pants at that point. Okay, to be honest, in the comment section, tell me what would you prefer: a spider with a diameter of 20 meters, or a giant snake that has the length of about 60 meters. Both of them extremely poisonous and trying to kill you. What would you prefer? Okay, so Deku basically this, well, the snake also comes to life, and yeah, basically 60-meter snake, and just a snake, not anything special except that he has poison. So a bird trying to freeze you, and two animals are trying to poison your ass. So Deku basically looks at them and scans them, and damn, they're pretty weak to be exact. The bird has a little weakness to fire, so he basically just melts it. The bird is gone. And the two others, he basically just does the same thing. Well, at least that's what he's thinking that would happen. But the spider isn't even affected by the fire, and the snake actually seems to grow. Which Deku's basically just thinking, wait, did this snake just grow? Oh fudge. Then Deku tries lightning, which this time the spider grows, while the snake stays the same size. He thinks, okay, so elements, fire makes that one grow, elements electricity makes that one grow. And then he goes for water, which basically starts making the snake shrink. The spider tries to attack Deku, which basically, even in that slightly bigger size, doesn't really do anything for it. Deku basically frees the snake, then breaks him, so that one's dead. Then for the spider, he basically decides to use wind blades, which work and cut his legs. The spider's not able to move anymore. And Deku basically squishes it. Well, not really squishes it, but basically, well, yeah, kind of squishes it by increasing the gravity on it by around 2000%. Well, 2000 times. Basically, it passed from a spider to a little piece of paper looking thing in a matter of seconds. The doors to the chests opens. Once again, two of them have gold, jewelries, treasures. Two of them have books. And the last one, compared to all of the others, instead of only having one egg inside that is broken, there's three of them. Basically, he's starting to get that, okay, so those eggs are the eggs of the monsters I kill. Those big bastards. Which is actually false, but that's what he's thinking. Or is it? Okay, no, yeah, it is the eggs of those monsters. Um, they make the monster grow. Well, the people who made the temple placed the eggs in there. The monster hatched. They placed the egg in chests. Those chests basically, once you close them, basically make a new egg. If the first one dies, then that egg opens, the monster go take its place, and basically grows in this span of like 2 weeks to the full size. So basically, every time Deku takes one out and that he closes it, there's actually new ones that basically gets in, and after 2 weeks in total, they're basically already outside back in the room at full size. For all of those that he destroyed, yeah, those eggs are dead as well, and they don't remake anymore. So Deku goes for the middle of the place to teleport. Once he teleports, he basically gets meeting, well, in front of a god that has a spear on one hand, and on the other hand has a weird looking gauntlet that doubles as a shield. This god doesn't even present himself by his name and only said to Deku, ready to fight, warrior, which Deku basically decided to place as himself and say, when you're ready. And this god is actually the most, well, the second most powerful of the entire continent, and is about 50 or so times stronger than Deku, which is actually the first time since he trained that he actually has problem with something. He's still able to fight pretty well for a while, thanks to all of his spells and the two others, all the capacity to stop time as well. Um, he is able to fight for a small amount of time. Sorry. Until the god decides to tell him You are strong. I think I like you. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to stop holding back now. And you can stop holding back yourself. Which is now where the battle actually begins. You see this timer? Yeah, probably going to be a minute, 5 or 6 minutes of just me telling about how the battle goes. I just have to drink before that because it's going to be hard for me. Okay. Okay, so the god basically starts having light surrounding him and says, God boost. Which Deku basically asks him, what the hell is that? Which he says, oh, this is my divine power. It augments my power by about 2 times. While I'm in this state, I am 50 times stronger than what you are right now. So now, prepare yourself, I am arriving to kill you. Because nobody takes my throne. And basically goes to attack Deku. Then Deku suddenly just says, Dragon Force! And starts to transform. The god tries to stop it. Deku turns into a shadow. Starts going on the walls, which the god basically use a spell. Basically saying shadow control. And basically start trying to force Deku out. Deku finally goes all of his 5 dragon forces, which is Shadow, Sky, Iron, Fire, and Ice. So he basically gets, basically gets out of his shadow because the god is already trying to do something to him. The god tries to attack him after that, which Deku knows he's coming, turns into Iron, and basically tries to block him. His spear almost his spear breaks through Deku's skin, hurting him a lot. Deku used healing magic to heal himself, which the god says, this one was supposed to decapitate you, and all you got was a big scratch on your arm. I think I get why your power was able to overpower some other gods. But you're not going to overpower me. I am the strongest god on this continent. Or should I say, was. Until that stupid one arrived. Which Deku basically asked, stupid one? Which the guy said, he calls himself Thor. He's not directly on the continent, but on an island that is classed in the continent. He arrived about 2,000 years ago, out of nowhere, and decided to only train so hard that he overshadowed me easily. Now I'm trying to overpower him, but he's still stronger than me. So I'm going to take my anger out on you. And basically starts attacking Deku again. Deku basically uses his shadow as well as creating ice and using his iron to block the attacks and hit him. And he saw that most of the hit he uses don't actually do any damage except when they're purely physical. Well, they still do damage when it's magic type, but it's mostly do damage physically. So Iron Fist, Iron Club, I should say, does do damage because it's mostly physical, using partially magic, compared to a Fire Dragon Fist that has a lot of magic and a low physical. So Deku's basically starting to get that and start using less magic around his head and just punching or using his weapon. And for a while, Deku is sure that he's actually losing because the god is actually pushing him. But the thing is that the god is basically trying to boost himself using a special type of magic that is called temporary boost. What it does is give you a 2 or 3 minutes, depending on how much magic you put in it. The max is 3 minutes. A boost of around 1.2 to your, well, 1.2 to your power, so boosting you a great deal. Like Deku's being pushed around easily right now, until it stops having effect. The god was sure he was going to be able to kill Deku by this point. But the drawback finally hits. And Deku basically sends the god's magic lower, and he attacks. The god didn't even have the strength to move out of the way, and got decapitated. Reason for that is, the spell he used. The way it works is that it gives you 3 minutes at max of all of the power you have, basically all of your stamina, strength that you can use in that moment, magic, defense, and everything, places it on you for those 3 minutes, and after that you're basically out of juice. So it's a double-edged sword. Or you're able to finish it, or you're dead afterward. And he got killed. Deku basically got the power. He got a... Well, his power got boosted by a good amount. I'm going to do the calcul before the next episode, because right now I don't know why I didn't mark it. So, after getting that, Deku left. He checked his power and saw the 2 times boost that can be added to any other times boost. So if you use 5 Dragon Force at once, you add that and it basically makes you 52 times stronger instead of just doubling that amount, which would be crazy. Yeah, no, I'm joking. I'm all over for overpoweredness, but still. So, this was part 15 of What If Deku had a leveling system. He got his 11th book, he killed another god, gained capacity to boost his power indefinitely by 2, he learned of a new spell which allows him to boost his power to the utmost limits for 3 minutes max. And yeah, that's basically it. Leave a like if you liked. Tell me in the comment section how you feel about the what if, and tell me if you have any questions about it, or if you want to see anything in it. I'm going to leave a link to my Discord in the description. Come join us if you want to. We can have a lot of fun on it. Natsu out.